Say it back. Hi. We are back with our first session of the day. I'm so excited. Our first speaker is going to be Kiana Arnold, a Bay Area based career coach and LinkedIn creator with a decade of experience recruiting at Meta, Twitter, and CNN. As the founder of Professional Love Letter, Kiana empowers underrepresented communities to break barriers and build authentic personal brands in tech and beyond. Today, she'll help us move from finals to fresh starts, guiding you to reflect, recharge, and reignite over the break. Y'all, give it up for Kiana in the emojis and in the chat.
Thank you, Michelle Adana. Appreciate you. Hello, everybody. I'm watching the chat, okay? Let us know where you're from. I'm based in the Bay Area. Is there anybody else in the Bay? Originally from Detroit. What it do? Anybody from the D? ATL, Florida, Texas, New York, Jamaica. Okay, I love it. I love to see all of this. Y'all are making me feel so good about being in the room. Thank you for having me. Today, we are going to be chatting all about fresh starts. Okay, this is the season. Tis the season to what? Rest. And I just want to give you what to expect in this session. When it comes to me, I don't know if anybody on this chat or in the group follows me on LinkedIn, but I'm a person who's always going to tell it like it is. But I'm also going to encourage you to do the thing that makes you feel good. And during this time of year, it can be so overwhelming, especially during final season. I want to make sure that you have a comfortable send off into the holiday, okay? So I want you to know the title, How to Reflect, Reset, Reignite Your Energy. And then I also want you to know a little bit about me. So I'm Kiana. I had a great intro at the beginning, but as Michelle Adana says, I am a former FANG recruiter. I have over a decade of experience recruiting in tech, specifically for STEM fields. And I started my career very early at AT&T, Twitter, United Airlines, CNN, and most recently Meta. I was recruiting for interns, new grads, rotational programs, basically anything that had to do with creating opportunities for underrepresented groups to break into tech. And so now in my own business, I founded Professional Love Letter, where I do one-on-one coaching, I do group sessions, I'm a speaker, but I also really love pouring back into my community and still continuing to hold the torch of helping our communities break into the tech industry. Like I mentioned, you could see me on social media. My platforms everywhere are Professional Love Letter. So follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn. Definitely connect with me because I also share a lot of career gems, resources, resume tips, and sometimes I offer giveaways and discounts for my services there. But let's get into the real tea while you're here. Session goals. We are going to be defining rest, talking about why it's important. We're going to learn how to build some healthy routines, and then you'll have an opportunity to ask questions. So I see a lot of people right now still chiming in the chat. Keep that going. If I'm talking about something and a question pops up, or you want to know something about my pathway or for your own resource, put it in the chat. And we've got folks behind the scenes that are capturing your questions and we'll be able to address them at the end. But before we get started, I want to know, is everybody done with finals? Are you officially on like your holiday breaks at this point? Anybody still? Okay, I'm seeing yes, yes, yes. Let us know if you had one emoji to describe how you're feeling being done. Please drop it in the chat. I need to know. Look at the memes. Okay, tears. I understand. Thank you, Lord. Hallelujah. I understand. Y'all are doing I love it. Y'all are a good time. I'm at home, honey. All right. And then if you could think about how good that feeling is right now, right? Like you are finally able to set this semester down. A lot of people, when they think about rest, they think that they're being lazy or rest is something that needs to be earned. Like, I'm going to do this long list of things and then I'm going to reward myself with rest. But I really wish early in my career, even when I was a student, I wish that someone would have told me that rest is actually a requirement in order for you to keep going. And also, in order for you to perform and continue to climb, you need rest to do it. And so, does anybody in this group right now, are you like me and you leave your phone battery to like 10% and you're like, I don't have time to go sit and charge my phone. I'm gonna wait it out, and then you get that 1% and your phone starts flickering and glitching. Like that's when you're like, okay, I gotta go sit down real quick, get a little bit more juice so I can keep going. Okay, somebody said, "We don't all do that." I know, that's how I felt until my friends were like, "Girl, why is your phone on 3%?" But when it comes to that glitching that happens when you get to the 1%, think of your body and your mind like a phone. Sometimes we get the signals that, all right, I probably need to slow down, or maybe I need to like not overflow my plate. It's already full. But sometimes we continue to push forward until we have literally given all that we can and we shut down and we crash. And I just want you to know from experience that it's much easier when you can start charging your battery maybe at 50%, right? And you're not even waiting until that 20%. You're keeping that full charge throughout the day. Now, am I going to do this when we get off the call? We'll see. My phone my phone is a totally different thing, but just to bust the myth, you need charging just like your phone does. I also am a former athlete. I used to play basketball. Shout out to the WNBA, which I am nowhere near, but the WNBA has done amazing this year. And I just think about when I used to play college sports and we would have rest days. There are times as an athlete, do we have any athletes in this chat where you're having regular practices, you're having game days, you're having conditioning, and throughout that week, you need to have a rest day because if you don't, what happens? Somebody tell me in the chat right now. What happens when you don't have your rest days as an athlete? Burnout, breakdown, crash and burn, cramps, injuries. Your body cannot recover. That's similar to your mental health and being able to slow down and take the time to rest. What I will tell you, a story of mine is as a corporate worker, and it's been over a decade, but once I went into Meta, there was a point in time in June 2020 when we were in the thick of the pandemic, and I was literally burning myself out with everything that was happening in the press, but also trying to help support my teammates, my interns, my team, that I literally pushed through and to the point where my whole body shut down. And it was debilitating to even put together a calendar invite when on a regular day, I'm moving really, really fast. I had witnessed my own mental health suffer because I was moving so fast and not taking the time to rest and process what was happening. And so, for you all, I just look at you as that next generation that has the opportunity to learn a lot sooner than I did 10 plus years into my career. And so I just want to share that with you that there are a lot of benefits when it comes to rest that revolve around your health, your metabolism, your ability to digest food, um, just like the things that you do on the daily, you actually need to slow down and pace yourself if you want to be able to sustain. And when it comes to career growth, I know this is also a time in the season where things are starting to quiet down the last couple of weeks in the year, and then they're going to speed back up in January, right? So a lot of you are probably, if not preparing for summer internships, you're on that grind. You're trying to apply to careers that you want to break into, right? And I just want to encourage you that you can do both when it comes to resting and being able to be quiet and go into this space of like refreshing your own personal brand. This is absolutely the time that you can do it when there's less pressure to, right? Like you can really slow down and think about your strategy. One question that I would ask myself if I were all of you right now is what worked in this last um, semester that you had, right? What worked? What did you do really well? I would love to see if anyone can put in the chat, like, what really worked for you this semester? And then if you feel brave enough, share what didn't work. What is the thing that you're absolutely not going to do again? When it comes to rest, being able to take the time to reflect is really important. It gives you the time to slow down and think deeper about how you can elevate yourself. Okay. Another thing when it comes to that reflection, you also need to reassess and think about what would be your long term goals, right? We're going into this new year. Where do I want to be this time next year? What lessons did I learn? And because I am also a LinkedIn creator, I would not be doing any of you justice if I didn't give you some tips on how you can revamp your LinkedIn if that's something you do. Is anybody on here? Does anybody have a LinkedIn account? Is anybody in this chat following me on LinkedIn? I see some people. Ooh, I see some folks that follow me. Just followed, incredible. What I would say when it comes to having a LinkedIn that can catch the attention of recruiters, of people in your community, if you don't have a headshot or even just like an updated profile photo, definitely have a photo. I can't tell you how many people don't have a photo and send me a DM. I'm like, are you a catfish? Who are you? So make sure that you absolutely have a updated profile picture, and then your bio, the headline that is under your name, a lot of people look at that as like a cover letter or a summary. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not too many words, not too much when it comes to the headline. Just making sure that you add in what you do now, what skills you have, and then what you want to do. So for my LinkedIn, you might see something like tech recruiter, inclusion, speaker, and just those words by themselves. I was looking at a client's LinkedIn the other day and they had like 3 sentences in that headline. And I was like, honey, too many words, too many words. Slow it down and make sure that you're really highlighting the impact of what you do and where you want to go. Another thing I would say is think of your LinkedIn as a virtual resume. There are so many people who ask me for resume tips right now, and we've got a lot of AI tools that can help you tailor your resume to job descriptions. What we are not able to do is have these AI bots get the attention of the hiring teams. You have the access of so many different recruiting teams, hiring managers from so many different companies on LinkedIn. And the moment you connect with them, the first thing they're going to do is go to your LinkedIn profile. They're not going to try to search for your resume. And so, if you're connecting with these recruiters, you're engaging with their content, they'll also first click on your profile. And so I just want to remind you all that LinkedIn is more than just a job board. It's more than just you submitting an application. There's so much access that you can use, and you can really showcase yourself and your brand through your profile. There's also a links section in LinkedIn where you can feature like your portfolio. If you have a website, attaching your website there. If you have a resume that you just want to have linked on your profile, you can do that too. But I share a lot of LinkedIn optimization tips on my account if you ever follow my content. But I want to make sure that you understand that you can rest and you can also use the time to reflect, reassess, and ultimately like come back and reignite that energy. Okay. And then I did create a framework for you all. So there's 3 R's when I think about what it means to slow down. And reflection, like I said, has a lot to do with that. But being able to do things that help you recharge your battery. So, what fuels you? Is it, I don't know, tennis? Is it video games? Is it spending time with your best friend? Like making sure that you're making time to do things that give you that extra little dopamine hit, right? Like the joy, the natural energy that you feel, incorporating more of those. And then, of course, through all of these things, it'll reignite a fire for you, a spark. Maybe you'll come back with even more ideas to make yourself even better. And then some tools that I use in this work when I do it myself or when I'm working with my clients, we use journal prompts. So, does anybody in this group actually journal? I started journaling in the pandemic and it was a literal lifesaver. Literally. So if you had a terrible experience, if you're one of those people that had a terrible finals experience and you put an emoji that was like stressed, honey, I was stressed, right? Whatever I was feeling in that moment, and things would just pop up for me. Questions like, why did that happen? And then you're answering those questions yourself. It's literally an opportunity for you to process big, overwhelming thoughts, starting by just writing whatever's coming to mind. And then taking the journey of asking yourself questions is a way for you to help self resolve in certain instances. Another thing that I use are different apps. Is anyone a Calm app subscriber? I know they do have student discounts if you're not. But meditation, being able to be quiet, quiet your mind, usually makes space for you to think about more things and bring clarity to those thoughts as they come. The theme is really slowing down. So even with the journaling, with the meditation, you're slowing down your processing and your thinking so that you can move with intention going forward. I think society always gives us this whole expectation to move fast, be productive, always be doing things, but we don't need to run ourselves into the ground for anybody. Okay. There's a book that I read last year, Rest is Resistance by Trisha Hearsay. You can find her on Instagram at the Nap Ministry. And she talks about why naps are important and why we deserve them. Okay. I would definitely recommend her. She also has a good meditation on Spotify. I'll put her name in the chat. All right. And then it's your turn. I would love to hear from you. If we have any questions about anything I've talked about, if you have questions from me as a recruiter, as a creator, as a personal brand expert, as a wellness enthusiast. Mm. If If you had to suggest one key habit or change for students to implement in the new year to boost their careers, what would it be? To suggest one key habit or change for students to implement. I would say um, a big common thread like trend right now when it comes to the job market is it's an employer's market right now. That means there are way more candidates and applicants than there are jobs available. And so it's not going to be the resume that gets you an application, but it's going to be putting yourself out there in community spaces that have something to do with the field that you're in. And so student clubs and organizations, perfect place to start. They have access to several different um, career partners typically. Uh, Being in spaces like this with Color Stack, attending events like this so you can talk to people who are actually in the fields that you want to be in or have the knowledge and resources for you. Talking to people who have secured internships at companies that you wanted to. Maybe you saw them do something really cool last year and you just want to hear about their experience. Um, Being able to connect and engage with people on LinkedIn versus just like scrolling through their content and um liking the content, actually commenting is a way to get people's attention and for you to remember them. Those are things that I would do, focusing in on community spaces because it's gonna be a game of who you know versus your resume being perfect. Everybody's resume pretty much looks the same at this point. Um, Question, what tips would you give to a new grad engineer who's struggling to prioritize rest because they're focused on career growth? I feel you. I feel you. I would say I understand the pressures of being a new grad, whether you just recently graduated or you're approaching graduation. There's always that question from people, what's next? What are you doing next? What's your plan? And in this market, it's hard to have a concrete plan. I would think of yourself when you are in your career process, um, like your career search process, think of yourself as that athlete. It's not sustainable to do it every day. And so the biggest tip I would give you is to take one day to yourself, a minimum of one day where you're not focused on your career search, where you're focused on doing something that brings you joy, even if that has nothing to do with your career. That would be the biggest tip. It's not always easy to stop, but when you're doing something that you enjoy and that feels good, it's almost like a snowball effect where something good will come from that and it'll turn into something else. And it'll give you more energy for when you're actually in your search. Okay, being a recruiter at many top tech companies and having a strong LinkedIn presence, what's the best way to build authentic connections with recruiters? Oh, I love this question. Uh, a lot of people don't post on social media. And I'm not saying that you have to be this extroverted personality, make videos, but I say posting something, even if it's written or a photo or voice. I think those are ways for people to get to know you more. A lot of my followers on LinkedIn, when they hear me giving tips on careers, when we actually have a one-on-one session together, they're like, "Oh, you're actually the same in your sessions as you are online," because I show up with my authentic voice, and it's almost like they build a connection with me. There have been recruiters for me as even a job seeker looking for opportunities where when I'm connected to a recruiter and I see them posting about the company or maybe they're giving tips to applicants, I engage with their content. I write a thoughtful message under whatever post they have, letting them know that, hey, like your content's good and I'm interested. and I keep engaging with them and they become familiar with me. So by the time we get to the DMs, they know exactly who I am. And it's not a cold DM. It's like a, hey, good to see you again. And so I would say to develop more authentic connections, uh, engage authentically and just deeper than the liking, loving, laughing. Like give them a comment, give them something, and consistently show up in that way. And it will help you build warm connections. Another way that I've secured interviews has been commenting under recruiters' posts that, like, they link the position that they're hiring for, commenting under that post with one big piece of impact from my career. And that's relevant to the role that they're seeking, and letting them know I've applied and I sent you a DM already. I would love to interview with you. What types of content perform best on LinkedIn and how often should users post? I get this question a lot. When you're starting out with any type of content creation, I say try everything. Stick to topics that you can talk about for days. Like I can talk about and nerd out about career stuff all day long. It's fun for me. And so talk about things that actually feel natural to you so that you can gain that authentic connection. But right now, video is popping off on LinkedIn. It's it's video's king right now. But I would say try different forms. So try the photos with the written, try the written without the photos, try a video with, I don't know, a sentence over it in your favorite song, or try to do a voiceover. But when you try different things, you see what sticks for your audience. I have tried to post multiple times a day on LinkedIn or multiple consecutive days in a row, and I don't think that's the LinkedIn algorithm. That might be better for Instagram or TikTok, but with LinkedIn, I've seen more value in better performance in my posts when I post maybe 2 to 3 times a week. Is there a substitute for journaling for someone who doesn't like writing? Absolutely. Voice notes are incredible. Voice notes, there's also something called Otter AI. It's like a note-taking app, but sometimes I will just talk into Otter AI and just talk out my thoughts. And it goes into text too, and I can reread it later. But voice is amazing. I would say, did anybody watch the Risa Tisa series this year? What was it called? Um, something. Her husband. You remember TikTok? Somebody remind me. Risa Tisa. We know who she is, but she did the video journals too. Sometimes just hitting record and talking to yourself. Yes. Who did I marry? Who the F did I marry? Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that we're about to be at time, but this is the last question. Let's see. How can I put myself out there without losing myself? Period. I love that. You know, like I said, do what feels authentic to you. I know a lot of people that just don't feel comfortable in front of a camera, like for video, and that's okay. I say do what feels best for you. And like I said, try everything so you know how it feels. And only stick to talking about the things you want to talk about. When we feel like we're forced to do something, it's almost like our body rejects it. We resist it. But when it comes to putting yourself out there, lean into what feels good and you won't lose yourself. In the moment you feel like you are, pivot into something that feels good. So you keep trying and know that there is no wrong way to do anything. And you can literally restart your energy, restart whatever at any given point in time. Okay. And so I just want to give you all more opportunities to see how you can stay in touch with me. I do have my own Ask a Recruiter Anything channel on Fide app. Fide is one of the newest career networking apps. Is targeted specifically to Gen Z. And so in my chat, I answer career questions, resumes, I do resume reviews, I keep an eye out for job alerts, I connect people on this app. It's invite only. It is free, but you can use my QR code and the invite code key123 to join. And then of course, connect with me on LinkedIn, follow me on LinkedIn, and then social media on all platforms, professional love letter. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. I've been watching your comments in the chat. Y'all have so much energy and so much opportunity right now. And I want to encourage you and let you know that there's no wrong way to do anything. Okay? Take the time to yourself right now, recharge yourself, slow down, and you got this. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you so much, Kiana. Y'all give it up for Kiana in the chat as well as in the emojis. I hope you're feeling all that love from our Fam Friday family. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. I'm like, not me about to cry. Wait, hold on. Thank you so much. Y'all, we are gonna go ahead and do the giveaway question. So make sure you answer the giveaway question in the Q&A part of Air Me. Okay, are we ready? Okay, cool. All right. What are the 3 R's framework? What are the 3 R's framework? And the winner is Chris Chica. Congrats, Chris. The Color Sack team will be reaching out to you for more information next week. Congrats to you. Now, y'all, we are going to. Oh, wait, the answer was reflect, recharge, and reignite. Period. So, y'all, we are going to go ahead and take another quick break. We're going to stretch, we're going to hydrate, we're going to visit the social lounge or maybe chat with a few other members. We'll be back at 2:15 Eastern Time for our next session on finessing financial aid with Virginia. I will see y'all soon.